Here are my thoughts on Death Stranding 2 so far. I'm about 30 hours in and about halfway through, so I'm really taking my time. And I gotta say, I am thoroughly enjoying the game so far. As a matter of fact, this has made me a die-hard Kojima fan. As someone who grew up on Xbox and didn't really get exposed to the Metal Gear Solid games, this feels like an amazing entry point into the world of Kojima. Now, I did play the first Death Stranding a bit, and I've also played Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, but I didn't really click with the gameplay of the first Death Stranding, and I had no fucking clue what was going on in the story of the Phantom Pain. This, on the other hand, has really reeled me in a way that neither game has before, and it has made me super interested in everything else Kojima has made. As opposed to the first game, I find the deliveries to be far more engaging. Not only are there more vehicles to use quicker in the game, but there are just more structures all throughout the place and so many different ways to traverse the terrain in front of you. And while you're on these trips, you'll often have combat encounters that really keep everything fresh and exciting. As for the story, there are definitely plot points that are heady and convoluted, but the overall plot itself is pretty easy to follow, and I'm finding myself really enjoying getting to know Sam, as well as all of the side characters like Rainey and Tomorrow and Fragile. I gotta say, Troy Baker has absolutely killed his performance as Higgs in this game, and every time he's on screen, he absolutely steals the show. At about the 60-hour mark, it does feel like things are starting to get a little bit repetitive. It feels like at the end of every mission, I'm expected to return to the DHS Magellan and help it move forward because for some reason or another, it broke down again. And that is starting to get a teeny bit annoying, but it is helped by the fact that there's always a pretty good cutscene or a way to explore one of the side characters every time that happens. I also find myself wishing that there was just a little bit more depth to the combat, though I do still enjoy it on the whole. As compared to something like Metal Gear Solid 5, the combat definitely doesn't have that much going for it, but it does feel like an homage to that game, just with the overall emphasis on stealth and taking down enemy bases. Overall, I have to say this is probably one of my favorite PS5 exclusives, though there really haven't been that many, so that's not saying that much. I still think this is a definite Game of the Year contender so far, and I'm excited to see how the second half turns out.